What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bartley Broadcast YouTube channel. I am, of course, Jacob Bartley, and this is Comic Hero Talk, my show where I talk about comic book related topics, superhero related topics that can be in TV, comics, novels, books, anything you want to talk about, and especially movies as well. And lately, I have been reviewing the Harley Quinn TV show on the DC Universe app, DC Universe streaming service, I should say. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before about this, you know I love this show. It is amazing. I'm so glad I found it. It is the main reason I subscribed to the DC Universe app and why I kept it. I was just initially going to do the 7-week trial, but since this show airs weekly, I had to keep the app and the streaming service because this show is absolutely incredible. It right now, and here's the thing, there's not a lot of TV that I watch, and there's not a lot of TV that, shows that I usually watch that are on right now. And the shows that I do watch that are on right now aren't doing so great, in my opinion. So, with all that being said, right now, this is my favorite show on television. The Harley Quinn animated show is my favorite show on television right now. And this episode is a pure example of that. Episode 12, spoiler talk, we are getting into it right now. Wow. Okay. You clicked on this video, you know it's spoiler talk. I'm warning you it's spoiler talk. Because something big happens in this episode. And I was telling my buddies over at Apocalypse that this episode brought me to not bawling out tears, but it made me teary-eyed. And I'm just going to say it. The thing that did that was Poison Ivy's death. And whether or not they bring her back, she comes back next episode, or she comes back in next season, she still died. Harley Quinn and those other characters, Kite Man especially, felt her death. And she died. They may bring her back. That doesn't change the fact that they still went through the pain in those few seconds that we saw on screen of her death. And that's the argument I try to make with like Avengers Infinity War, right? How when Thanos does the snap and all those characters die, and everyone's like, oh, it's not as effective because I know they're coming back. Okay, first of all, we didn't know they're coming back, but we had a strong assumption that they were. Okay, fair. Now, we have to just take that moment in that movie for what it was. Those characters died. Their friends and their family and their very close ones saw them die and felt the pain, had to live with it for 5 years. That is still stakes. That is still great storytelling. So, for Poison Ivy to die right in front of Harley Quinn and Kite Man and the rest of the crew, that is great storytelling. They developed this relationship with Harley Quinn and with her and Kite Man, with the other characters, and they made you feel that death. And she did die on screen, I'm assuming. She said, Harley, I can't, and she just, fell over, and then flowers started growing. I just didn't expect that. The episode was all going wild. Other than the Poison Ivy thing for a second, this episode was so much fun. I love the Queen of Fables. The Queen of Fables is awesome as a character. She's a terrible, evil villain, but she's awesome as a character, and I love her powers and what she can do, and the whole fairy tale element to it, and how the Justice League shows up in this episode, and she defeats them. And obviously she has it out for them because they're the ones who locked her away in her book in the first place. Now she did that to them in her fairy tale book. This is crazy because the Justice League shows up and destroys those trees like no problem. Harley Quinn and even Poison Ivy were having trouble with these trees, and the Justice League shows up, no problem. Then the twist, Joker's there, Queen of Fables is there, and she's getting revenge on the Justice League, Joker's getting revenge on Harley, and this season of television has been so special because we go into it knowing the Harley Quinn and Joker relationship. They established that she's trying to move on from him and, separate herself from him. Through that, she becomes really good friends with Poison Ivy. And then we go through the whole Legion of Doom thing. Harley and Poison Ivy have a falling out. They're fighting, but we still know, like, they're the only real true friends that each other have. And then they do this thing where very effectively they set it up to where, okay, Poison Ivy has to grow, which made sense the whole way they set that up with the Scarecrow potion or whatever they made. And they have Poison Ivy grow big, and she's fighting, and then her and Harley are just joking. And you have one of those moments where that we've seen throughout the season where Poison Ivy and Harley are just joking, and she's like, what if I eat you right now? Then they're just joking, right? That'd be so much fun. That'd be funny to them. And then just out of nowhere, you see the harpoon or whatever go through Ivy's chest, and the Joker starts laughing. Like, I could not believe it, because it's just, whether or not they bring Ivy back, it was still a bold move. And to have Joker do it, Joker, the one who Harley Quinn has been trying to separate herself from, the one who Poison Ivy had such a problem with her being with, and the one who caused the fight between them in the middle of the season in the first place, kills her best friend right in front of her. And that scream that Harley gives, props to Kaylee Kuko, voice acting or not, that was a very effective reaction. And then on top of all that, you have this character of Kite Man who's ridiculous, and they're making fun of how ridiculous he is. And they set that relationship up so well, where Ivy's like an A-list villain and Kite Man's like this EF-list character. And it's funny, they play it where she's ashamed to be seen with him at first, but then she embraces him and starts to realize, I don't care if he's Kite Man and that he's a silly villain, like, I still like him. And then they establish that relationship, and then he even saves them in this episode from the beanstalk, which, a kite seems stupid at first, but he saved them, as ridiculous as it is. And you have this character who's just a genuine, like, goofball and not a bad guy, and he really loves Ivy, and he ends up getting the girl of his dreams, and then she dies right in front of him after they just kissed, and she revealed to Harley and everyone that she's dating Kite Man. They were at, like, the peak of their relationship, and then she dies in front of him as well. And this is funny because, like, you think, oh, it's an animated show, you can't take it that seriously, but no, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. I'm not over-exaggerating. It really is. And I think the next episode is the season finale, but I am just so happy about this show. I've heard nothing but positivity around it, so I'm assuming this show is going to continue and be a hit, and I'm hoping so. But yes, I've said this multiple times throughout the season. There's at least 2 or 3 episodes that can be considered the best episodes of the season, but I do think with the effectiveness of Ivy's death and what it meant for Harley and Kite Man and the other characters, the crew, this episode takes the cake right now as the biggest episode. I don't know what's going to happen in the season finale, but right now, this episode is the best episode. And I won't be surprised if, just like I've been saying all season long, each episode is told in a way that they don't resolve the conclusions right away. They don't introduce a problem in an episode and solve it at the end of that episode all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if we go into season 2 with Poison Ivy still dead. Because you think, oh, there's no way she's dead. They're going to bring her back. What if she defeats Joker? Harley defeats Joker. Maybe she's not going to kill him. That'd be surprising if she does. She's not going to kill him. She's probably going to lock him in Arkham. You know, he breaks out all the time, but she'll probably be the one to finally put him away for now. And she defeats Joker, but Ivy's still dead. And then you go into season 2 and maybe bring Ivy back. Or maybe they don't bring her back at all, which would be super cool. But I doubt they would not bring her back because the show is really built on Ivy and Harley's relationship. But yes, I absolutely love this episode. It just solidifies me praising this show and how much I love it. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of Harley Quinn episode 12. I would really appreciate your thoughts. Let's have a dialogue. Do you think it's as great as I think it is, or is it not doing it for you as much as it is for me? What is your favorite episode? Let me know in the comment section again, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like all things superheroes and comics and all that good stuff. I'm going to be talking about it in the future as well. Again, I am Jacob Bartley. Thank you for watching this video. Bartley out.